Okay then. All righty. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Rant. I am Pugs Moran. We do this live every day from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in Dallas's beautiful design district. The E-Galleries, to be more specific. This morning I had a big meeting. Phone meeting with somebody that we're going to try. We are trying, not going to try. We are currently in the process of trying to get him to come in here to do a big art show for our feature grand opening here at the E-Gallery. We still haven't done any shows. Very excited about this artiste who I was speaking with the representatives of today. Very exciting things happening here at the E-Gallery. Hi, Taronda. Hi, April. Who else is here? Al is here. Adam's here. Okay. So this week is a little bit in flux as far as times that we're going to be starting the show. Normally, the default time for this show is going to be noon, but life gets in the way. What is this show? Well, today it's just going to be a rant. It's me. It's a stream of consciousness. Maybe you're fun Uncle Pugs. I sit here every day. We go through the news together. We talk about the world. We talk about the trends, the hot topics. Here's how I do it. Because I'm by myself and I only have you, the fine denzians of the chat room, to communicate with, I pretty much do this as a stream of consciousness, which is just whatever next thought is in my head, I say. No breaks, no stops, nothing like that. We do run the show in segments, though, and that's just so I don't get lost, so I know where we are. The segments are as follows. Segment 1, antecedently on this day. History. We talk about some of the things that happened on this day in history. Quarter 2, birthdays. We talk about birthdays. People having birthdays. Do we like them? Do we not? Quarter 3 is deads. Where'd they go? They died on this day. They go to heaven or hell. We decide. We look at their lives and we're like, yeah, but didn't that guy rape a kid in the 40s? Stuff like that. Quarter 4 is all the other stuff. Hot topics, conversation, lifestyle, all of that stuff. Community talk radio, the way you can't find anywhere else in America today. This isn't corporate bullshit. I'm not carrying water for some political agenda. None of that stuff. Just a regular guy. I hope you and I have more in common than we have not in common. I mean, we should. We're Americans living in 2025. So let's start from there and see what progresses, okay? All right. Tonight, I got to tell you, the show was, I tried to start the show definitely at 2 o'clock today. Because sometimes when I say the show's going to start at 1, the show starts at 1:15 or something. But today I wanted right at 2 o'clock because I was here. We almost didn't get started on time. I was almost like a minute late. You know why? Because I am furiously writing trivia questions. Oh my God, this has got to stop. I am fanatical about writing trivia questions. Every Tuesday night, we here at the Rant, we take the show on the road and we go out to the back 9 in Addison. That's 4060 Beltline Road in Addison. It starts at 7 o'clock. It's happening tonight. And we do a trivia contest. Brandon has called it Trash Trivia, and I'm okay with that. I just want to play trivia. No, I want to host trivia. And that's what I do. I go out, we host trivia. Now, originally, you go to a lot of these trivia contests and they're just pulling cards out of a Trivial Pursuit box, or even worse, just going online. The questions are dumb. There's nothing funny. There's no hints or tricks or riddles in the question. So I decided that I was going to write all the questions, because that's what I do. I commit myself to incredibly large and time-consuming endeavors because, I don't know, ego. No one shall write a question that doesn't pass my muster. So I furiously write questions. And moments before we went on the air today, I was writing new questions. We've got cool categories today. Here are some of the categories for tonight's trivia contest, of which, by the way, I don't think anybody in the chat room stands a lick of chance against Bill Falk. Bill's good. That's not true. I think Bill's beatable. Now that I know some of the people in the chat room, they just haven't shown up yet. Bill is beatable. Bill Falk, 2-time trivia champion. And by the way, you got a gift card coming tonight. Don't let me forget that. Don't remind me if I forget. Brandon wants to make sure that everybody gets what they're promised. All right, today, let's see. What are some of the categories we'll be working from it? Trash trivia there. 4060 Beltline Road at the back 9 in Addison. Let's see. First of all, what's this? Oh, this is easy. If you listen to this show, although don't be stupid, I'm not going to give the answers during the show here. But one category is on this day, I will ask questions about this day in history with my own particular spin. Then we're going to do classic rock trivia. That's right, rock and roll trivia. There's always a rock and roll trivia or some kind of music trivia category. This one, classic rock edition. Why? Because I look at the people who come out and it's a classic rock crowd, which is good. It's what we want. All right, we'll do a classic rock edition of trivia tonight. We're also going to do celebrity couples. You know about my obsession with celebrity couples. So I got a lot of fun questions that I wrote about celebrity couples. That's a good one. We'll do a general trivia round just so I don't scare people off. We won't do that. But then we'll get back into the fun, like this category. How'd they die? That's right. We got a category of how'd they die. Just a bunch of celebrities with fucked up ways that they went on to the next plane of existence, and we're going to quiz you on them tonight. How'd they die? All right, we got a whole bunch of stuff. I got other categories too, but we don't need to waste that much time. Come one, come all. Every Tuesday night, we have fun. 7 to 9, we play a little trivia. We get to know each other. And, still waiting to see if there's anybody from this chat room that can take down Bill Falk. Let's go. More trivia night locations coming too. We're working on that. But right now, we got to make Addison work. We got to make Addison work or else nothing else is going to come, guys. That's how it works. Addison has been picking up. First night was a lot of fun, but it was small. Second night was a lot of fun and a little bigger. So we're hoping, here we go. Bring your friends, form a team. We don't care. You can compete one as a solo or you can compete as a team. It's all just about the fun and getting to know each other. All right. Excuse me. Let's see here. What do we got going on in the chat room? Who's saying what about huh? Let's see. April's in the chat room. April says, I'm in Dallas for work, so I think I can come out and try to dethrone Bill Falk. Oh, man. Oh, boy, there we go. The gauntlet has been thrown. I love it. Thank you. Barney checking into the chat room. Barney saying, hi, y'all. Hi, Barney. You know what Barney did? Barney should actually be the executive producer of today's show. I can't believe I'm not honoring him with that. Barney tipped the show in a non-pledge week. I think it was Barney. Was it Barney? I think Barney tipped the show. He sure did. Thank you so much, Barney. You're awesome. If you also want to tip this show, you can support anytime. Drop a little something in the Venmo, drop a little something in the Cash App. That's how we fund this, baby. No advertisers. Oh, sure, we're trying to grow the brand, but right now it's about you people supporting this kind of talk radio. Treat me like I'm your bartender. Treat me like I'm your pizza delivery guy. Whatever. If you sit here and hang out with me for a little bit of time, maybe drop a couple of shekels into the old Venmo or Cash App. Thank you. Be a Barney. Be like Barney. We should all be like Barney. Look at that. There's Frankie. Frankie Smith's here. Mama B is here. All right. What do you say we get started? What do you say we just stop with the nonsense and get rolling with what's happening in the world today? Because I got a lot of hot takes on things. I got a lot of opinions on things that I'm seeing. Guess what I saw yesterday? I saw two really cool things at my Kroger. Okay. One of them I'm not sure about, but I think I saw Christina. Remember Christina from the Ben and Skin show? She's over on the Edge now, I think. She's like Mike Soroy's girlfriend. I think I saw Christina at the Kroger. And I was going to go say hello to her, but I got distracted by something else I saw at the Kroger at the very same time. And you know what that was? A full-on adult male hog on a leash. That's right. There was a lady at the Kroger with a dog on a leash and a hog on a leash, a giant hog. He was awesome. His name was Boris. And I wanted to go say, hey, Christina, is that you? And say hi to her because she's a lovely young lady. But I was distracted by the hog, as one is. One gets distracted. Here, I'll show you the hog. Here's a picture of the hog. All right. There he is. Look at him. Hold on. Wait a second. Let me make sure. So look at this hog. Look at that. That's a pig. Look at that pig. And there's the dog. There's his dog friend. Hog and dog right there in front of the. It was awesome yesterday. So anyway, I might have seen Christina, but as one might imagine, the sight of a hog in an urban environment on a leash and it had tusks. Oh my God! And Boris let me pet him. I got to pet the hog. Now I probably got some hog disease. Here's the other thing, and this is what's interesting about old Boris the hog. Like, I wanted to think like this was some eccentric, rich University Park lady, right? And she just got a hog because she's interesting. Yes, she's got a dog, but she's also got a hog. Isn't she the wild society lady? Yeah, I thought maybe that was it. That wasn't the case. It was like a Mexican lady, like a 45-year-old Mexican lady. She didn't really speak a lot of English. And the hog wasn't on a real leash. It was on a rope tied around its neck. So I don't know what was going on with that situation. I think old Boris might be dinner. I don't know. But whatever. It was cool. I saw a hog. And maybe Christina. Don't mix the two. Christina is not a hog. That's not what I'm saying. I just think it was maybe Christina. It was. I'm pretty sure it was her. All right. I should explain to you. My son and I want a pig. We wanted a pig our whole lives. My whole life goes back a little bit longer. But when I was little, we went to this like petting zoo and they had piglets. And my kid from that point forward was like, Dad, I need a pig. And I'm like, dude, I need a pig. I get a pig first. And he's like, no, we can get a pig together. So that's our plan. That's our post-college plan. My son will graduate college. We will live together and we will raise a pig. Like a totally normal father and son. So we do like pigs. Pigs are coming. All right, what do you say? Pigs are coming to my life. That was a weird thing to say the way I said it. Pigs are awesome. All right, let's get started. Welcome to Rant. I am Pugs Moran. These are the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E Gallery in Dallas's Design District. Today is April the 8th. It is the 98th day of the year. Did you know there's 267 more of these until the end of the year? All right, let's get into our first segment, Antecedently on This Day, where we like to talk about let's see here. Adam says, I saw Christina at one of her shows. She's awesome. She really is. She really is a wonderful human being. She is so sweet and so kind and so talented, and you just want to root for her and good for her. And maybe that was her at the Kroger. I'm not sure. Next time, I'd hope that I won't be distracted by Boris the pig, who will probably be in some Mexican lady's digestive system by the next time I see Christina at the Kroger. All right, let's keep going. Let's see here. Let's do Antecedently on This Day. Things that happened on this day. On this day in the year 1820, the Venus de Milo is discovered on the Aegean island of Milos. So the Venus de Milo, here, what is the Venus de Milo? Let's see a picture of it, just so we know what this is. Because, that's what it is. It's the no-armed lady. I don't know if she was intentionally given no arms or if that's, the result of, wars over the centuries that, maybe she lost an arm in some sort of vandalism. I don't know. Venus de Milo. Okay. So here's the thing. I've known, like, if you'd say, what's Venus de Milo? I go, it's a statue with no arms. Like, I knew that. But I didn't know it was, like, recently discovered. Like, I thought the Venus de Milo was made in, like, Greece and, like, whenever. And then everybody knew about it and it went from museum to... I didn't know that it was, like, just gone for, like, thousands of years. And then somebody in 1820s like, look what I found. Anyway. Isn't that interesting? Not really, but that's what we do here. All right. Venus de Milo, discovered on this day on the Aegean island of Milos in 1820. On this day in 1832, the Black Hawk War. Around 300 United States 6th Infantry troops leave St. Louis, Missouri to fight the Sauk Native Americans led by Chief Black Hawk. This is again, a little piece of history here, Midwestern history. Maybe it didn't make its way to the coasts and all that stuff. But this is why the Chicago Blackhawks are not going to lose their name the way the Redskins did or the Cleveland Indians did. And I will explain it again. The Redskins, whether or not you're offended by it or not, doesn't matter. The term Redskin is, it's a nickname. It's something that other people called something else, all right? Just shut up. I'm not saying, just shut up, okay? You can just be logical and we can agree that Redskin was used as an insult, okay? Also, you understand to some degree why the Cleveland Indians changed their name to the Guardians. I get the argument. It's like, they're not Indians, okay? Columbus was wrong. Indians are people who live on the other side of the world. These are Native Americans. All right, I get it. It's not a big problem for me, but again, I'm a white dude, so none of this shit is a problem for me as a white dude. But whatever, I acquiesce that maybe there are other... I don't know. I know an Indian and he's fine. Oh, shut the fuck up. I don't care about your one single Indian experience. I don't care. I'm not in this argument. I'm just simply explaining why certain names are problematic. And whenever anybody goes, what about the Chicago Blackhawks? What about... It's a different thing. Okay? Indians is wrong. The Cleveland Indians is wrong. They're not Indians. They're Native Americans or they're whatever, indigenous people, whatever. I don't care. That's wrong. Redskins, again, dirty Redskin. Like, I get that. That's a negative thing. But Blackhawk is one man. Blackhawk, the term Blackhawk, whether you're talking about the Atlanta Hawks, who are also named after Chief Blackhawk. They started out as the Quad City Blackhawks before moving down to Atlanta. The Atlanta Hawks are named after Chief Blackhawk. The Chicago Blackhawks are named after Chief Blackhawk. The Blackhawk helicopter is named after Chief Blackhawk. He is one of the greatest Indian leaders, one of the greatest Native American leaders of his people that this land has ever known. And that's why it's an honorific. Okay, it's not like, fuck that guy, Blackhawk. No, it's not. It's like, this dude was cool, and we need to remember this dude for years, okay? That's the difference. And it was on this day in 1832 that the Black Hawk War fully got started between the United States and Chief Blackhawk and his crazy band of Sauk Native Americans. Antecedently on this day in 1974, Hank Aaron passes Babe Ruth as the all-time leader in career home runs by hitting his 715th home run off Al Dowling at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. We always see the video of this. That's Hank Aaron, rounding the bases, and then some white stoner dude just like comes out of the stands and like rounds third base with him. That dude would be shot today. Like, could you imagine if somebody like Shohei or somebody like Judge or somebody, they hit some historic home run, and then just some long-haired stoner dude starts running with them down to that dude would be shot. That dude would get his clock cleaned. That ain't happening today, but it did on this day. 1974. Antecedently on this day in 2014, Windows XP reaches its standard end of life and is no longer supportive. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Did I know what that means 10 years ago when my computer stopped working? I don't know what that means. Antecedently on this day in the year 2020, Bernie Sanders ends his presidential campaign, leaving Joe Biden in the Democratic Party's sole nominee. All right, whatever. Bernie Sanders is a fool, you guys. It's like the stupidest people are the ones that go, yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with what Bernie has said. Bernie's a fool, okay? Bernie's got some good notions, but he has absolutely no practical knowledge of how to make these fucking notions work for everybody, all right? Bernie Sanders is an extreme left. As far as the economy goes, he's an extreme socialist. And so you get these dudes. You want to tell me you're an idiot? Go from Bernie Sanders to supporting Trump. Show me that I was going to vote for Sanders, but now I'm voting for... You're a fucking moron, because those two people have absolutely nothing in common. That means that you don't know what you are. You have no central grounding. I was going to vote for Bernie Sanders, but now I'm MAGA. You're fucking so weird, dude. They don't believe in the same thing on anything. And you're just... I hate Bernie Sanders. I think Bernie Sanders and some other people, what should I name? Bernie Sanders has done a lot to damage the Democratic Party. A lot. But whatever. I don't care. All right. Not born on this day. Let's do 2024. Oh, this was a year ago. Hey. Holy mackerel. No doubt about it. It was on this day. In 2024, April 8th, 2024, that a total solar eclipse takes place as the moon's ascending node is visible across. Remember that? The eclipse day? I remember that. And there's a video of it. We went through. You can pull it back from 1 year ago. It's over there at Pugs and Company. You can watch the video. We were actually streaming live when the sun went away. It was kind of cool. I remember thinking, like, this isn't going to be anything. But then I remember watching it back and going, oh, my God, it really got dark. Hey, look at that. Science. All right, that's going to do it. Let's do some birthdays. Q2. Let's move into people celebrating birthdays on this day, and let's decide whether or not they deserve our happy birthday or go kick rocks, loser. I don't like you. All right, birthdays. Born on this day in 1918, Betty Ford, American wife of Gerald Ford, 40th First Lady in the United States. Betty Ford... I guess she gets credit, but I just don't know how amplified this credit is. But Betty Ford did more for rehab and for people discussing their limitations publicly, whether it's, mental struggles or struggles with addiction and dependency. Betty Ford, her husband may not have been that great, but as far as changing the national mindset towards getting help and speaking up and getting help, Betty Ford did that. Betty Ford was a brave-ass woman. Betty Ford. Born on this day in 1918. Born on this day in 1946, one of the coolest baseball names of all time. Not as cool as Cool Papa Bell. Cool Papa Bell is like the most badass baseball name of all time. But I'll tell you right there in my list, Catfish Hunter. Catfish Hunter, born on this day in 1946. Born on this day in 1954. How about another basketball or baseball legend? Although this guy was a dick. Everybody hated this guy. This guy was great, though. This guy was great. He's one of the greats. I put him in my top 10 all time catchers. But he was a dick. Everybody hated him because he was on a team with like a bunch of fucking nuts. He was on a team with a bunch of coke heads and drunks and party boys. They were all extremely talented baseball players, but they were also extremely undisciplined. And then you introduce this guy, our birthday guy. He becomes the catcher on the team. Everybody hates him, but whatever. They won a World Series. We're talking about Gary Carter. Gary Carter and those crazy Met teams from the 1990s. Gary Carter, everybody hated Gary Carter. Gary Carter was like a narc. He would like tell the general manager stuff. He's just like a bitch. Anyway, I think he's dead. So that's kind of sad. And I probably should have eased up a little bit, but whatever. Yeah, he is. He's dead. There we go. Gary Carter, born on this day in 1954. Born on this day in 1960. How about this one? John Schneider, American actor and country singer, Dukes of Hazzard. I used to like the Dukes of Hazzard. And the Dukes of Hazzard are the reason that I refuse to watch appointment television. Dukes of Hazzard is the whole reason that as a young kid, I just could not live with the idea of waiting an entire week for the next episode of the TV show that I watch weekly. I didn't know what was coming. I had no idea about binging and all that. I didn't know what was coming, but I'm so glad that it's here because I'm telling you, every episode of the Dukes of Hazzard ended with them in some kind of predicament. And it was always like, it could be as stupid as like the General Lee is jumping over a like gulch or something. And then like in the middle of it, it just stops. And then you hear like Waylon Jennings, well, these Duke boys really got themselves into a pickle this time. And I'm like, no, you gotta wait a week. Happy birthday, John Schneider. He's Bo Duke. Look at this one now. You kidding me? Born on the same day, just 1 year apart. How about it? John Schneider, Bo Duke, one of the greats from my television childhood. Born on this day in 1960. Also born on this day in 1961, Richard Hatch. Oh, wrong guy. Never mind. Forget it. Never mind. I just realized something. This is not, I thought this was Starbuck from... I thought this was the original Starbuck, the dude from Battlestar. It's not. What's that guy's name? And that guy's name Richard Hatch too? No, this is Richard Hatch, the first winner of Survivor. Remember this guy didn't he get naked or something? And that's how he became famous. The naked gay guy. He was gay and naked on television. That might be when it all changed for us. I don't know, some people say 9/11 was the moment that I don't know. I think the minute the gay guy got naked on Survivor, I think we all went, huh? That's a thing now. All right, born on this day in 1962. How about Izzy Stradlin? I don't know. Izzy? Izzy Stradlin, guitar player, Guns N' Roses. Antecedently, born on this day in 1963, Julian Lennon. No joke there. Julian Lennon, he's a John Lennon's son. John Lennon was a total dick to Julian because, as is the case, John Lennon was busy being a Beatle when Julian in the 60s, when Julian was, growing up. Hey Jude is written about Julian Lennon. Yeah, Paul McCartney wrote that song for Julian about Julian's problems with his dad. It's kind of weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine that. That's some pretty basic Beatles trivia there. Like, Hey Jude is written for Julian Lennon, and it was Paul McCartney writing to Julian saying, hey man, I know your dad's a piece of shit. Okay. That's basically the song. How do you think John reacted to that? Like, how do you think, like, in the moment when Paul's like, I've got a new song I want to play for you. It's about what an asshole father you are. Like, it's right. Like, there had to have been like, John, I don't think they were speaking. I think at that point, the Beatles weren't speaking, and Paul had X number of songs that got on albums, and John did too. But that's always interesting. But John was like, I bet you John listened to Hey Jude and he was like, this is a great song, but also fuck you, dude. Fuck you, man. Why are you butting into my business with my kid? Fucking Uncle Paul. What the fuck, man? I'm telling you, I bet that was a very natural reaction from John Lennon. Born on this day in 1963, Julian Lennon. Born on this day also in 1963, Dean Norris. You know, Dean Norris is, right? He's Hank. He's Hank from Breaking Bad. We like Hank. I know he's done a bunch of other things. And every time he turns up, I go, that's Hank from Breaking Bad. Born on this day in 19... Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Oh, this is a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play a round of Kiss, Marry, Kick. That's right. That's my sanitized version of Fuck, Marry, Kill, which I think the fucking and the killing is way too extreme. Vulgarian, if you ask me. So we do Kiss, Marry, Kick. This is somebody we're going to kiss, which really means we're going to make out really hard with. We're probably going to do, we're going to go home with, one night stand. We're going to hook up with. Kiss, and then marry. We know what marry is. And then kick. This is just someone we're going to kick to the curb. We're going to break up with just because we don't need her. She's surflifless. What's that surflifless move? What's that word? Surplifless? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, let's do Kiss, Marry, Kick. There we go. We got 3 ladies. We're going to decide which one of these ladies we're going to kiss, which one of these ladies we are going to marry, and which one we are going to kick to the curb. Let's get started here with our first birthday girl, born on this day. What year? Well, 1966. Is it 1960? Yeah, look at her. Robin Wright. Hold on, let's make her big. All right, now here, let's talk about Robin Wright, okay? Robin Wright, she's, of course, the Princess Bride. That's really good. Like, every dude who grew up in that time would be like, yeah, I'm married to the Princess Bride. That's pretty good. She's holding together well. She's extremely beautiful. She played Claire. Look at her right there. There's Princess Bride era. Couldn't get better than that in 1988. There she is. Now she's older. She's age appropriate for me. Okay, that's a good one. There she is, younger. There she is. She was Claire, right, on House of Cards. She became president. All right, there you have her. She's going to be hard to beat. Kiss, Marry, Kill. Born on this day, year of our Lord, 1966. Robin Wright, formerly Robin Wright Penn. All right, Kiss, Marry, Kick. Next up, born on this day in 1968. Here's another big time. Well, she's even bigger. This is an Academy Award-winning actress, right? Ladies and gentlemen, born on this day in 1968. Patricia Arquette. Huh? How do we feel about Patricia Arquette for Kiss, Marry, Kick? All right, here's what we know about Patricia Arquette. She comes from the crazy Arquette family. Crazy. Now, look, another thing that we know about Patricia Arquette. Boobs. All right, she's got great boobs. She's had great boobs since the 1980s. There's no denying Academy Award-winning actress Patricia Arquette is bringing some fantastic boobs to this Kiss, Marry, Kick situation. But, who's that? But also, you got to hang out with David Arquette, I'm guessing. Like, could you imagine Thanksgiving with David Arquette? I'm a pass. I'm pass on Thanksgiving. I don't care how nice the boobs are. She's also got kind of jacked up teeth, right? Like, that's always been her thing. Like, she didn't get her teeth fixed because she's got like a snaggle tooth. All right, there she is. She's pretty good. Patricia Arquette. All right, so we got Robin Wright, born in 1966. We got Patricia Arquette, born in 1968. And now we're going to move a couple of years forward. Born in 1980. All right, hold on, how do I get this? Yeah, there we go. All right, born in 1980. Now, I mentioned earlier that I thought we had the original Starbuck, Richard Hatch, as a birthday guy. We don't, but what we do have is we've got the reimagined Battlestar Galactica, Katie Sackhoff. Let me tell you something. You know how I love the reimagined Battlestar Galactica. I think it's one of the best television shows in the history of TV. One of the things that bothered me about it, though, was that they decided to do this whole thing where they were going to take Starbuck, who was like the cool-ass male lead character in the original Battlestar Galactica, and they were going to turn Starbuck into a woman. And I was like, what? Starbuck can't be a woman? Well, guess what? Starbuck, in my mind, is now a woman. Starbuck, because Katie Sackhoff, here she is. Look at her right there. Starbuck. She was tough. She didn't wear makeup. She's just like naturally pretty. Well, I guess she's wearing makeup there. Katie Sackhoff. Look at her. Katie Sackhoff. Starbuck. Come on, give me some pictures of her as Starbuck. There she is. Look at that. She was so badass. It's crazy. It's crazy as a lunatic, but Kanye crazy. Like also a genius at flying spaceships. I don't know. She was good. She was a good fighter pilot. All right, there you have it, guys. Kiss, marry, kill. Kiss, marry, kick. One of these women we are going to kiss. One of these women we are going to marry. One of these women we are going to kick to the curb. All right, I'm going to tell you how I come down on this. Robin Wright, we're marrying her. Sorry, it's not even close. We are marrying Robin Wright. All right, Robin Wright. She's the one we marry. I mean, she's beautiful. She looks great. Like, she's like the perfect, like, wife for, it's like a trophy wife. She's like just age appropriate. It's just, she's fine. She's even older than me. She's like 3 years older. It's fine. I'm marrying, we're not having kids. I'm marrying Robin Wright. All right. Now it comes down to Starbuck, who I've had a crazy kind of like perverted fetish thing for since first seeing her in Battlestar Galactica, and those magnificent boobs of Patricia Arquette. All right, here's what we're doing. The boobs, I can't deny them. I got to go with Patricia Arquette. I'm hooking up with Patricia Arquette. I'm not going to Thanksgiving. I don't want to deal with her brother, David. I'm hooking up with Patricia Arquette. I'm going to play with those boobs. And Starbuck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Katie Sackhoff. You've got to go. There you have it. Kiss, marry, kick for today. Robin Wright, we're marrying. Patricia Arquette, we're going to hook up with. And Katie Sackhoff, Starbuck from Reimagined Battlestar. We're kicking to the curb. Sorry, Katie, you're not fat. You're not famous enough. You know, and you're just not. Like, I don't know that if I go out to dinner and I'm like, hey, I hooked up with Katie Sackhoff, I don't know if people are going to be like, wait, who's that again? But if I say Patricia Arquette, people will be like, ooh, tell me about those boobs. And I'll be like, okay. Born on this day in 1981. I almost included this person in the Kiss, Marry, Kick because I'm telling you, look, everybody knows, look, I'm a straight dude, right? I'm a straight guy. But everybody knows I'm a little bit of a Jason Momoa sexual, right? Like, I think if the situation was right, he would have to be the aggressor because that would be embarrassing. Like, could you imagine I make like my one homo move on a dude and it's Jason Momoa and he buffs me? No. So situation was right. I could be convinced to hook up with Jason Momoa. You guys know this. You guys know this. He's a beautiful man. I mean, it's just like, Jesus, take me. So I may not be a Momoa sexual for this person, but I am definitely, what would we call it? I'm Kish curious. That's right. Taylor Kish celebrating a birthday today. Who's Taylor Kish? You're like, well, Pugs, I know who Jason Momoa is. And, I can actually on some level understand why you'd go homo for Jason Momoa. But this Taylor Kish guy, I don't know who Taylor Kish guy. Why don't you explain to me who he is and what this hold is that he has over you? He's Riggins from Friday Night Lights. Look at him. Look at that handsome son of a bitch. I don't know why he never became a bigger movie star. You should look at him right there. Handsome son of a bitch. He's in that new show where he plays like a frontiersman. I don't know what the show's called. The show was all right. It was like first season. I think it's a Netflix thing. It's like 8 episodes or something. It was all right, right? Like, I'll check out the second season if, I'm around. But anyway, he never became a big star. Oh, look at that dude. Dude, I am totally Kish curious. Look at me. He's a handsome man. I don't know why his career. Maybe he can't act. I don't know. Does he suck at acting? I have no idea. Anyway, there he is having a birthday today, Taylor Kish. Riggins. He's always just going to be Riggins for me from Friday Night Lights. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Oh, okay. This is interesting. So here are 3 people who are celebrating birthdays today. I thought this was a weird little anomaly about today. Here are 3 people celebrating birthdays today. None of these people are the people who also have this name who are way more famous than them. I'll give you an example. Okay. So born on this day in the year 1986, Carlos Santana. Yeah, no, not the guitar player. This is Carlos Santana, a baseball player, a Dominican baseball player, born on this day in 1986. How about this example? Born on this day in 1987, Elton John. Yeah, no, not that one. This is Elton John, the Trinidadian footballer. And then here, this is another one. This was the one that started it off because I looked at it and I went, he's not that old. And then I went, oh, born on this day in 1938, John Hamm. John Hamm. He was a Canadian politician, premier of Nova Scotia. I don't know. What are you going to do? 3 people there having birthdays today who have other people with the same name, and they're less. How do I even word that? God, I suck. All right, moving on. Last 2 birthdays, couple from the world of football. How about happy birthday, born on this day, 1997, to I think the best linebacker in football, Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith has been the best linebacker in football for 4 years, but, he goes to the Ravens, and that's when people notice. I'm like, no, he's been fucking great since we got him out of Georgia with the 7th pick back in 2019. I don't know. Happy birthday, Roquan Smith. He's a great player. You should be happy to have him, Baltimore. Born on this day in 1999, CeeDee Lamb. Dallas Cowboy wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, born on this day in the year 1999. Happy 26th birthday, CD. All right, that's going to do it. That's birthdays. Now let's do deads, right? People who died. We got a lot of people who died today. There's a lot of these. I'm just looking at the list. I'm like, who's going to heaven? I have no idea, because dead on this day in 1973, I'm preemptively putting this asshole in hell. Pablo Picasso. This guy was a monumental jerk off, and he went straight to hell when he died. Right. Although it was pretty cool. You know what he used to do? He used to go out to dinner. Like he would go to, he did this like the last 30 years of his life. He would go out to dinner. He'd order extravagant meals for himself. And then when the bill came, he would draw on the back of the bill. He would create a piece of art and then just give that to whoever. And it was a Picasso, so it was worth way more than the meal. Imagine living like that. Is that cooler than James Caan in the 1970s, sitting in his living room, thumbing through a Playboy magazine, deciding which one of the Playmates he was going to take out that night? I don't know. Both of that's pretty cool. That's the way to live. But sorry, Picasso, you're going to hell. Oh, yeah, here we go. Directly to heaven. Directly to fucking heaven. Every once in a while, these people come along and they remind us human beings what pieces of monumental shit that we can be when we are manipulated by even bigger and more consistent pieces of monumental shit. This person is going to heaven. We are putting him in heaven. He's Ryan White. Ryan White, dead on this day in 1990. Yeah, remember, he was the little kid in Indiana who had a blood transfusion and got AIDS. And then everybody in Indiana decided that he was like, he's one of them gay fags. Is he one of them gay fags? We hate him. He's going to hell. Fucking people. You people are monsters. You're all monsters. Everybody, the way you reacted to AIDS, fucking monsters. Ryan White, a little kid scared out of his wits. You people are throwing shit at his house. Ryan White, straight to heaven, man. Kidding me? Fuck. All right. Dead on this day in 1990. Dead on this day in 2010. Straight to hell for this con man. Dead on this day in 2010. Malcolm McLaren. Okay. Malcolm McLaren. It's an English singer-songwriter. This dude never wrote a song in his life. What he did was he just took everything from other people. Malcolm McLaren is the self-professed godfather of punk rock. Malcolm McLaren ran a boutique clothing store in London in the late 1970s, mid-1970s, called Sex. And it became like this crazy leather store. And it's where all of the early punk rockers of that time bought their clothes. So you would have, the Clash in there. And by the way, these bands were not famous yet. They were just dirtbag garage bands. Malcolm McLaren just started putting bands together. He is most famous for piecemealing out of the people who came into his club, putting together the Sex Pistols. And then he promoted them and he exploited them and they were all junkies and he made all the money. He's garbage. He's not a good person. Malcolm McLaren. Big shuck and jive showman right there. Dead on this day in 2010. Dead on this day in 2013, Annette Funicello. Heaven. We're putting her in heaven. She was super cute, man. Like, she was always, like, she's obviously a different generation than me. But even as, like, a kid, I could see, like, 1960s, like, beach blanket bingo type bullshit. And I'd be like, man, that Annette Funicello was a smoke show. And then I guess she was really nice, too. Like, it turns out she was really nice. And she died of a disease. And that's all gets you into heaven. And I know, Pugs, you said actresses. Annette Funicello wasn't an actress. Okay, stop it. There's a difference between what Annette Funicello was and what actresses are. Annette Funicello was a child who was cast on the Mickey Mouse Club at like 6 years old. All right, and then she just went with it the rest of her career. She wasn't a great actress. Okay, we're not talking about Elizabeth Taylor here. We're talking about the poor man's Elizabeth Taylor, which would be Annette Funicello. Still putting her in heaven. All right, dead on this day in 2013. Also dead on this day in 2013. We're going to put this one in hell. Because daddy no like politicians. Margaret Thatcher, dead on this day in 2013. Straight to hell. Straight to hell for you, Mags. All right, that's it. First 3 quarters are in the books. What do you say we get started now with some of the hot topics and just things that we're going to talk about? Let's delve into the chat room though first and see what people are getting into here. We've got Adam. Adam says I had many transfusions from age 2 to 4 when I had multiple surgeries for a brain tumor and some trauma. I had to get checked for AIDS and hepatitis and whatnot in the late 80s. I got lucky. Yeah, me too, man. I remember when I had my terrible car accident, this was like 86, and there was like super fear about, I'd lost so much blood that I needed blood transfusions. And it was, I don't know, I just remember having to go through the same thing where it's like every time for the next 10, 15 years, you get a blood test. You're like, all right, here comes the AIDS. Luckily, never happened. But all right. If I did have AIDS, like if I did, I'm beating it, right? That I might have AIDS. I may have just been walking around with AIDS and it's just, it's just why I'm so tired all the time. Maybe my body is just, I don't know. I'm convinced I had COVID multiple times, but never actually, got sick from it. I don't think I got sick from COVID until I got my second booster when they intentionally got me sick from COVID. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this? All right, moving on. Let's see here. Tonight, that's right. I want to mention one more time, right down there. Look at it. Join us at 7 o'clock tonight, 7 o'clock tonight, 7 o'clock tonight. The back nine, 4060 Beltline Road. We'll be out there doing trash trivia. We've got gifts. We've got prizes. People win. Come play as a team. Come bring your friends from work. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have any association with this show or anything. Just come out and play. Come out and play. Have a beer. That's what you got to do. You got to just have a beer. Just have something to eat and support us that way. Trivia tonight. And every Tuesday night at the back nine, 4060 Beltline Road in beautiful swinging downtown Addison, Texas. All right, let's get into this. Let's see here. Let's see. Yikes. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, man. Holy crap. All right, we'll get to the big stories here. The stock market. Okay? The stock market. The stock market is the big story. The stock market, the Dow Jones. Here's why it's the big story. It wasn't the big story until a couple of seconds ago when I realized, fuck! The stock market was up 1,500 points, I think, at some point today. It was in the green, 1,500 points. It was on its way to recouping all that it had lost. Okay, not all, but it was coming back. It was definitely showing some signs that, okay, all right, they're going to readjust, but we're going to weather this whole thing. We're going to be fine. The stock market will fix itself. And it was looking like that all day long. When I left, when I finally got in the car, after my meeting this morning, I opened up my phone and I checked the Dow just because I knew I was going to have to talk about it. And we were up 650 at it was in the green, 600 plus at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay. All right. We're going to be in the positive today. That's an incredibly good sign. Yeah. Well, the market closes in 15 minutes and we're now 700 points down. Oh, we are negative 778. It is dropping fast. My God, this has been a volatile. I mean, honestly, I thought it was going to close up all day long. It has been up. It has been vibrant. It has been, people buying. And then just now, within the last hour, a complete fucking bottom explosion. And by the way, it was kind of interesting seeing a lot of people I call them people who carry water for other people's agenda. A lot of people around noon and 1 o'clock who are carrying water for other people's agenda are on Twitter and the socials going, see, the stock market's going to be just fine. We told ya. And then, all right, the last time I told you it was 7:33. It's now 7:33.97. It's now 7:30.55. Hold on, we're going to do this in real time. Okay, no change. 7:30.55, 7:30.55. All right, so here's what I would see as being, okay, we can survive that. I can see when it closes in 14 minutes. The markets are going to close in 14 minutes. If we end the day minus 400 or less, I think that's a sign that, okay, all right, because that's not the massive hemorrhaging that we've seen the last couple of days. So minus 400 or less. I think like if the Dow closes like minus 350, I think we can survive that, because that's not minus 1500 or whatever, you know. Minus 730 right now. I don't know. Now I'm minus 772 right now. Minus 820 right now. It's going in the wrong direction. 756 now. All right. See how chaotic it is? All right. So the stock market's going nuts. We'll try and remember to check back in at the closing bell. I mean, it could rally or it could completely go in the dumper. Hold on. One more chance. Let me see. There's no way of knowing. 786. All right. Minus 792. Holy shit. Like, look, if it closes minus 800 today on a Monday, that's a worst case scenario, but that ain't fucking good. That means that this is settling into the new normal. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because I don't have any stocks. Because I've got a hole in my backyard filled with Confederate money. Confederate money is coming back, I tell you. But yeah, Byron, buy the dip. Yeah, Byron, where are you hearing that from? Everybody's getting wiped out buying the dip, dude. Stop it. Buy the dip. This isn't a poker game. This dip is not coming. There are reasons people buy the dip because of economic indicators that say that it's going to come back. There are none of that. They're just on there telling you to buy the dip because you're stupid and they need you to put your last penny into the stock market. Buy the dip. That made sense on Thursday. That made sense on Friday. It doesn't make sense anymore, man. Stop it. That's a way of looking. Or Tuesday. I'm sorry. Tuesday. I was saying Monday, Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Sorry, I got missed. That's right. It's Trivia Tuesday. How could I not know? All right. But again, ultimately, man, let's see where we are June 1st. Like, let's see where the economy is June 1st, because you got to give this thing time to right itself or completely solidify itself as a second Great Depression. We have to give it to June before we're going to really know what we're looking at. That's my advice. Stocks. Don't know dick about them. All right. Seriously, guys, I thought we were going to end up in the positive. I thought there was no way. At like 1 o'clock, we were still up like 600 points. I'm like, we're green 600. This is great. And then in 2 hours, it has dropped and it's now red. Hold on. Red minus 772. All right, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna, although I am interested. I want to see it rally like it could. In the next 10 minutes, you know, people like Byron buying the dip. I don't know if enough of you listen to the economic advisors on Newsmax to really affect the buying of the dip. By the way, that was a pretty funny thing. On the day that it closed down like 1,800 points, Newsmax went public. So Newsmax rang the bell to start it. And then the whole fucking thing went in the toilet based on the policies that Newsmax propagandizes like just ad nauseum. Then the whole stock market went in the toilet. And then they got to ring the bell to close it. We did this. We did this. They said to their own peril. It is funny. Let's see. Byron says, and your panic acting is funny. Rachel Maddow, I'm not panic acting. This is 3 fucking days of 1,000 points down, dude. I wasn't panic acting when I was telling you we're still above 40. There's no problem. I'm not panic acting. I am looking at this and enjoying, because I don't have any money in it. I am enjoying how this is going to play out. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. Let's all go back to fighting with sticks and tiki torches. Let's go. I'm not panic acting. I'm actually shocked. I was actually hoping that I was going to say, see, I told you, because I told you last week that I bet you this thing whole evens out. But it's not good, Brad. Byron, I feel bad for you because there are just so many things now that are starting to look like you have married yourself to the absolute worst possible worldview. And you have to keep digging in? Like, do you have to keep digging in, dude? Just fucking go. This is not good for the stock market. I mean, Jesus Christ, people in the administration are fucking fighting them. Are you watching this? You watching this fight going on between Elon Musk and Peter Navarro? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even know how to. So Peter Navarro, who is one of the economic advisors in the White House and convicted felon, it needs to be noted that this White House is just filled. Never in the history of the White House has a convicted felon been allowed on property with security clearances until this administration. There's like 5 of them. 5 convicted. So that's out of the bag, right? So the next time, some Democrat runs and he got busted for a DUI back in 1995, you can't say shit, right? Can't say shit because that's not a problem for you. It's not a problem. Remember. We're going to hold you to that. And if you had any sort of principles or moral grounding, you might be afraid of being seen as a hypocrite, but that's not a problem for you people. You're just hypocrites left and fucking right. So anyway, Musk and Peter Navarro are fighting. Musk called Navarro Peter Retardo. Now that's the level of name calling that I want to get back. Peter Retardo. So here's the thing. Peter Navarro, all right, well, I'll give it to you. I'll give you exactly what's going on here with Elon Musk and Peter Navarro. It says here, Elon Musk rips moron trade advisor Peter Navarro. Moron, he says he's dumber than a sack of bricks. Okay, so you got two people inside the house. This is what the president loves, though. The president loves chaos. He's the chaos president. Billionaire Elon Musk has escalated his, a guy like Byron. Whose side you on? Who are you loyal to? Are you? I just think Elon's right, or do you think that Navarro's right? I'm just wondering because I think they're both fucking idiots. But hey, I'm enjoying that they're fighting with each other. Oh, I hate that backdrop. I hate that picture. I don't know why it always goes to that thing second. It's not fun. It's not good. Hold on. Boom. All right. Okay, we'll hide that. Let's see. All right, so I want to get into this Musk and Navarro story. So here we go. Thank you. Billionaire Elon Musk has escalated his attacks against White House trade advisor Peter Navarro on Tuesday, calling him a moron who's dumber than a sack of bricks. Musk 53, it's good that they have a unified message. Musk 53 responded Tuesday to the trade advisor's suggestion on CNBC's Squawk Box Monday that Tesla's boss was not a car manufacturer, but a car assembler, pointing to the electric vehicle company's importing of batteries and other key components to manufacture its Tesla cars. Navarro is truly a moron. What he says here is demonstrably false, Musk wrote on X, adding in a subsequent post in which he tagged retard finder. All right, yeah, it's all right. So he tagged the post with Navarro, retard finder, like that's his job. Okay. Navarro is truly a moron. What he says here is demonstrably false, Musk wrote on X, adding in the subsequent post in which he tagged the retard finder. Tesla has the most American-made cars. Navarro is dumber than a sack of bricks, says Musk. By any definition whatsoever, Tesla is the most vertically integrated auto manufacturer in America with the highest percentage of U.S. content. Musk continued. Navarro should ask the fake expert he invented, Ron Vera. All right, so that's a great one. I didn't know what this was until I looked it up. Peter Navarro goes on television shows and footnotes and cites an economic expert named Ron Vera in all of Ron Vera's studies. Ron Vera is Peter Navarro's last name with the letters mixed up. He's making this shit up. And Elon just called him out on it in public. They're saying the quiet parts loud and publicly now because they're that convinced that you people do not have a fucking brain in your head and that you're not paying attention and that this is all just a popcorn eating football game for you. In his screed against Navarro, Elon Musk cited a Cars.com study of 330. I don't fucking care about this Cars.com study. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, also known as Hot Amy Schumer. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt downplayed Musk and Navarro's feud Tuesday afternoon and praised Trump for his willingness to hear from all sides. These are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs, Leavitt told reporters during her regular press briefing. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue. All right, yeah, most people will be embarrassed by it, not having a unified message, but yeah, whatever, the chaos administration, we're good with it. And I am good with it. This is fun. Let's just see all the nonsense out front. Why? So that when we finally get back to being a serious country, we'll elect people who are a little bit more, filled with integrity and principles. That's just me. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? I just love it that he called him Peter Retardo. That is like the greatest. Elon, good for you. Good for you, Elon, you retarded piece of garbage. All right, here's a big one. So the tariffs and the trades and all that stuff were, pissing match with China and all that stuff. China is about to play one of their biggest cards, which is banning Hollywood movies. Oops, Hollywood's going to be all upset now. Oh, man, those Chinese people, they love the Fast and the Furious movies. They love all the Marvel shit. Did you know that China is the world's largest film market? Yeah, Hollywood needs China. Hollywood absolutely needs China. And China's about to ban all Hollywood movies. So there you have it. Pissing match. Doesn't affect me. I don't live in China. And quite frankly, I don't like a lot of Hollywood movies anymore. So whatever, boys. Do your thing. Trump wants to have a stupid military parade again. Remember he tried to do this like 6 years ago and they're like, it's going to cost $100 million. And then he was like, so, and they're like, but that's too expensive. And he's like, so I want a military parade. And they were like, but it's too expensive. And then it never happened. Well, he's bringing that cow out of the barn again because apparently he's planning a big military celebration for, coincidentally, his birthday. Oh yeah, it's going to be just like one of them old 1970s Brezhnev moments where Red Square is filled with people forced to be there in the cold, and then they roll down these rockets. Yeah, this one's going to cost $100 million too, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's like, fuck it. We'll see. Whatever. Whatever. Okay, cool. Military parade, $100 million. You're firing a bunch of people. Where is Doge on this? Why isn't Doge looking at the $100 million Trump? This is so fucking nuts. What kind of country do we live in? All right. School lunches? No. Giant military parade filled with phallic-shaped missiles and bombs? Yes, please. All right. Let's talk about basketball. Why? I don't want to talk about basketball, but Florida beat Houston 65-63 yesterday to win the NCAA National Championship. Florida came down from, what were they? They were down like 20 points almost. I was checking. I wasn't watching the game because I don't give a shit about either of these teams, but I was checking in. I'd like go and I'd be like, oh, looks like it looks like Houston's going to run away with this. And then apparently it was a really good final 3 minutes, and I didn't watch any of it. So maybe we could all watch it together. Here we go. This is the end of yesterday's NCAA National Championship game. There we go. This is how it ended. They say it was good. I didn't see it. Let's watch it together, shall we? Okay, here we go.
Florida was the other night. National championship is in the balance. 13 seconds left. Florida leads it by 2.
Uzan gonna go.
Uzan, give it up. Cryer, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Sharp.
He walked. He
can't touch it. He can't. 1 second. And it's over.
Yeah. All right, good for Florida. I got no way. Yeah, you know what? Didn't want that to happen. My kid's being recruited by Florida. I don't want him to have any interest in going to Florida. He seems to think it's cool. And first thing I got this morning was a text from him saying Gators, baby. And yeah. Gators. You don't play basketball, kid. You play football. Yeah, they're good too, Dad. Oh, all right. Whatever. We shall continue. All right, let's keep going here. $3 billion, ladies and gentlemen. $3 billion is what the American Gaming Association says that you, me, and your friends all bet on college basketball, March Madness, this tournament. $3 billion. Holy shit. Would it have been 4 if Texas, Texas here where we're free, would it have been $4 billion if Texans had been allowed to gamble on it? I don't know. $3 billion bet on March Madness legally through your DraftKings and all of this stuff. Again, I live here in Texas, and when I lived in Illinois, I used to have fun with my friends. We used to bet stupid. You can bet $1, you can bet $2, you can just have fun. You have group chats where you're all, doing prop bets together. It's really fun. And, I get it. Jesus probably doesn't like it. So, since Jesus probably doesn't like it, we probably shouldn't be allowed to do it, right? That's the attitude here in Texas about gambling. Also, the attitude here in Texas is we're free. We believe in freedom. There's no fucking freedom in this state. This is the most oppressive state in the nation, especially if you're a female. You can't have fucking gambling. We can't have weed. We can't have, I guess that's it, really. There's other things, too. Can't have Pornhub. Oh, no. We're free here in Texas not to have Pornhub like every other civilized person in this country. I mean, I don't use Pornhub, but, it's crazy that we can't do it here. People from other states, they make fun of us for that. Because we just take it. And then we sit there and go, hey, you don't know what freedom is. Shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to do anything that you want to do that you know is perfectly fine in the decision that you have made of sound mind and body about how you want to live your life. There are government officials in this very state who tells you to fuck off with that. Fuck off with what you think is okay for your life. Get your ass in church. The state is crazy. State is crazy. They've gaslit all of my texts. Hell, Pugs, you don't know what freedom is. We're Texas. We take freedom serious. I'm like, fuck you. I'm from Illinois. We got way more freedom than you guys. You guys got no freedom here. You guys have a list of shit that the state tells you we can't do. We're not allowed to do this. We're not allowed to do that. Tired of this whole fucking freedom nonsense. We're being gaslit. And to that point, a couple of weeks ago, I told you about how Ken Paxton's fucked up wife was trying to get people to have to, pull out their IDs in order to get a sex toy online. Yeah, I told you about that. It was a proposal a couple of weeks ago. Well, it's not a proposal anymore. It's about to become law here in Texas because there's absolutely nobody stopping this goddamn nonsense. All right, here it is. It's Angela Paxton. She is, of course, the wife. Senator Angela Paxton. She's the wife of Ken Paxton. She is the lead person in this Republican war against masturbation. Why? Because Texas is free. Just not to touch yourself. We're going to come in your bedroom here in Texas because freedom. And we're going to tell you got to stop doing that because Texas freedom. Senator Angela Paxton, Ken Paxton's wife, continues the Republican war against masturbation. The seize on self-gratification rages on in the 89th Texas legislature. A new Senate bill introduced and filed by North Texas Senator Angela Paxton, Attorney General Ken Paxton's wife, would require online shoppers to submit photo identification before purchasing a sex toy. Like the sex-focused bills that have come before, Senate Bill 3003 claims to home in on the protection of minors by regulating the online sale of obscene devices. Okay, so there we get it. more about control, more about all of that stuff. It's not about minors. It's about this is whatever your own sexual peccadillos are. And I would suggest to Angela Paxson to talk to your husband about his well-known and highly reported sexual peccadillos. Okay? I'm sure he has purchased a sex toy a time or two for one of his many mistresses, Angela Paxton. Texas freedom. A couple of weeks ago, I just told you about this story because it was just being floated. Now it's an actual bill. So the next time, and it's not just about sex toys, it's about any kind of material that you are trying to purchase via Amazon or online, whatever. You want to be discreet. You want to go to some skanky ass sex toy store in Richardson. You'd be like, ugh, weird, see weird people, smell weird things. The floor is sticky in an odd way. But, you don't want that. So it's modern times. So you go online and you're like, you know what? I need a new butt plug. Well, guess what? Now in the state of Texas, you're going to have to pull out your driver's license and you're going to have to officially let everybody know who you are and what kind of butt plug you prefer. That's freedom. You don't have any anonymity for your bizarre ass personal sexual peccadillos, which is what freedom is all about. Go be sexually weird on your own and nobody's going to bother you. But here in Texas, pull out your driver's license. Because Angela Paxson, a woman whose husband cheats on her all the time, thinks that you need to stop having the kind of sex life that you want. All right, there you go. She's shutting sex down for all of us. Here's a cool story. Did you know this story came? This is a national story. This is a national story that everybody is talking about today. CNN has been talking about this story. I saw it on MSNBC as well, and it's trending #1. It started last night. I saw it. I thought I booked this story to be something we were going to talk about last night at like 7:00. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think it was going to be like the top story that everybody's talking about. And then how come nobody is mentioning that this is a Dallas thing? That this is out of Dallas, that we did this here in Dallas. This is a Dallas contribution to the world. Nobody is mentioning Dallas. What am I talking about? I'm talking about they reinvented the dire wolf. Did you see that? Did you guys see this? Reinvented. They came up with some bullshit word. Extinctionized. That ain't it. That ain't it. So the dire wolf, which is a large wolf that was around in the Game of Thrones times. Honestly, if I'm being straight with you, it's the only place I've ever heard of a dire wolf is in Game of Thrones, but apparently they were a real prehistoric wolf breed that died out about 10 to 20,000 years ago. And they made one. Somebody made one. That's right. What's the name of this company? Colossal Biosciences, a Dallas-based bioengineering company. Colossal Biosciences has reintroduced the extinct dire wolf to the world. What could go wrong? Says anyone who's seen Jurassic Park. Here's the thing. These aren't dire wolves, okay? These are gray wolves who have dire wolf characteristics, okay? There is no like pure dire wolf gene or genetics or DNA out there. This is just like a regular gray wolf, which is believed to be the closest relative to the dire wolf. This is a gray wolf with some dire wolf characteristics, all right? That's what it is. Doesn't stop them from being cute. And I can't believe that this is going on right here in Dallas. Look at these. This is Romulus and Remus. These are the first two dire wolves to howl in over 20,000 years. At least that's what they say. Now look at these guys. Come on, look at these guys. All right. Are they cloned? Are they soulless? What is this? I don't know. They're pretty cute, right? But when fully grown, these things are like prehistoric monster dogs. This is, all right, so there you have it. Cool, though, right? Dire wolves? I'll take a dire wolf. They're handing them out. Now, finding out that this place that they did this here in Texas, that what's the name of the company again? Colossal Biosciences. Here, let's learn a little bit about this, because honestly, I was like going to try and figure out where this place is. Like, where is Colossal Biosciences located here in Dallas? Like, give me an address, because I don't know. I want to see them. I don't know. Maybe there's an off chance to let me play with a dire wolf, or I don't know. I don't know how it works. Could be as simple as that. Hi. Could be like a little storefront in Deep Ellum. Hi, is this Colossal Biosciences? Can I come say hi to Romulus and Remus? Colossal Biosciences, Inc. is an American biotechnology and genetic engineering company working to de-extinct. Okay, here's what they're working on. So we got the dire wolves. Okay, but here's the other things they're working on here in Dallas. They're working to bring back or de-extinct, which I'm sure is a word they made up. They are looking to de-extinct the woolly mammoth. Again, I say, what could go wrong? The Tasmanian tiger. That doesn't sound good. The northern white rhinoceros. Do we need that? Don't we have rhinoceroses? Isn't that? I don't think we need that one. The dodo bird. Yeah. Here's why I want the dodo bird back, because my whole life growing up, the dodo bird was depicted in cartoons as like being a really stupid bird. So I want to see if that's true. I want to see, let's bring back dodo birds and see if they died because they forgot to eat. I think a grown-up told me that once. Jesus, you ever think back as an adult the shit grown-ups told you as a child, and you're like, man, that was a dumb adult. I had a lot of dumb adults in my life saying shit that, like, my grandpa was convinced that black people had extra muscles biologically in their body that allowed them to dance. He wasn't kidding. He literally, now the man had like a 5th grade education and, never left his neighborhood his whole life. So, but he was a, nice guy otherwise. But he was convinced that black dudes had an extra muscle. And I remember he was telling me about it, and I'm looking at him going, I don't think that's how biology works, Grandpa. I don't think, but okay. Colossal Biosciences is an American biotechnical and genetic engineering company working to extinct the woolly mammoth, the Tasmanian tiger, the northern white rhinoceros, the dodo bird, and the dire wolf. In 2023, it stated that it wants to have a woolly mammoth hybrid calves by 2028 and wants to reintroduce them to the Arctic tundra. Likewise, it launched the Tasmanian Thylacine Advisory Committee, a thylacine research project to release Tasmanian tiger joeys. What's a Tasmanian tiger? Is it a tiger? They're calling them joeys. Is it a marsupial? Aren't joeys the name for baby marsupial? I don't know what a Tasmanian tiger is. I don't know what that is. I think it's a tiger, but it's not. The company develops genetic engineering and reproductive technology for conservation biology. It was founded in 2021 by George Church and Ben Lamb and is based in Dallas, Texas. As of 2025, Colossal is the highest valued company based in Dallas, Texas at $10.2 billion. And I'm guessing that stock went up with the introduction of Romulus and Remus. A couple of main people here. George Church and Ben Lamb, they are the two people responsible for this. George Church is the scientist. George Church is an MIT and Harvard scientist who's been working in bioengineering and conservation biology for years. And Ben Lamb is just some billionaire rich kid. Ben Lamb is a billionaire rich kid who apparently has celebrity friends, and he went and got this guy from Harvard, and they started this country, and now the world has dire wolves. Very exciting. You know what I want brought back? Do you know what I want brought back? An animal that I only learned about last night. I learned about this last night because I love wolves. I love wolves. Don't want a dire wolves. I want a pig. We talked about that earlier. The dire wolf would probably eat the pig. So I don't want a dire wolf. I want a pig. But I do like wolves. I had a dog that was a wolf hybrid, and she was really high maintenance, but also incredibly awesome. So I do like wolf hybrids. Yesterday, when I was learning about this dire wolf and I was learning about this company, I started to think, okay, well, what other animals did I not know existed because they're extinct that I'd like to see brought back? And I got one for you. Here's what I want Colossal Biosciences. Here's what I want Colossal Biosciences to bring back. Have you guys ever heard of the American lion? Have you guys ever heard of the American lion? Again, the American lion, they believe, died out like 20,000 years ago. There are very few fossilized remains of what was the American lion outside of the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles. They found a whole bunch of these lions, these American lions from like 20,000 years ago in the La Brea tar pits, because animals would wander into the La Brea tar pits and they'd get stuck. And then the lion would be like, hey, that animal's stuck. I'm going to go eat it. And then the lion would go in there and get stuck too. North American lions, or the American lion, were real. They were real and they were gigantic. They were twice the size of the modern African lion. And they were the apex predator of North America. Bring the North American or American lion back. Any pictures of it? Let me see if he's got some cool pictures, some cool artists' renderings of what the American lion looked like. I didn't even know that there was a thing. I didn't know that like this part of the world had lions ever, but apparently we did. All right, here we go. All right, now don't confuse it with like a mountain lion. That's not what we're talking about. Here you go. Here's an American lion. Look at the size of that thing. Look at that thing. That's a badass lion. Hold on, maybe. That's an African lion. There you go. That's a North American lion. They didn't have the big mane that the African lions have, but they were much larger. Oh, that's why. That's an American lion at the La Brea tar pits. Hold on. I want to see like a picture they showed. There's one picture of like an American lion versus an African lion. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. The little one is the modern lion, and the American lion, Panthera atrox, is the big. Yeah, let's bring that fucker back. That's what I want. I want to bring back the American lion. How badass is that? Byron says, bring back the Barbary lion, only extinct since the 1940s. Fuck the Barbary lion, man. American lion. Let's do that. I mean, obviously, we can't just let it loose. We can't reintroduce the American lion after 20,000 years. I think that might have some difficulty assimilating, but we can put a couple in zoos. Oh, by the way, George Church, the scientist behind this company that's doing all this work. I should also mention that George is also on the board of directors of something else that I'm a very big fan of, which is, we talked about this a couple of months ago. Remember the enhanced games? Remember the enhanced games? The enhanced games are going to be an Olympic style event that is going to have people who, no drug testing. That's it. We're just not going to test for roids. We're going to see how much a roided up monster can actually bench press. We're going to see how fast a roided up freak can actually run a 40. We're going to see, probably won't get to see a dude hit a 700-foot home run, but I'd be willing to, advocate for having that be an event. Batting cages. I want to see giant roid. Anyway, the enhanced games are a real thing. And I've been advocating for this for years. I don't understand the moral grandstanding about, performance enhancing drugs. This is the only era in professional athletics where we've given a shit about performance enhancing drugs. And it's only been since the 1970s. Nobody gave a shit what people in the 1950s or 40s or 30s or 20s or 60s were doing. They didn't care. We didn't start caring until the 70s. So now do you know how they used to do cocaine in the 30s and 40s to play baseball? Nobody knew what cocaine was, but some dude was like, hey, I found this when I was playing in Mexico, and it really makes me dial in. They were doing cocaine all over Major League Baseball in the 30s and 40s. Don't talk to me about performance-enhancing drugs. So, look, if an athlete wants to see how far he can push the limits of his own physical, natural state, I'm all for it, man. I don't see this moral, but it's not right. It's not fuck you. The human body evolves. We do all kinds of things to change the human body. You're telling me that diet and the way that we ate in different parts and different times of this life didn't influence the physical build or the physical size of people? Come on. What's the difference between, what's the difference between a dude who, I don't want to have this argument. Here's what I want. I want to see big, giant, roided up people who I don't give a fucking shit if they got liver cancer or not. Why do I care? If they don't care, why am I supposed to care? Oh, because that's where the moral grandstanding comes in. I care. Even if they don't care about their liver, even if they don't care about the acne on their back, I don't give a fucking shit. If an athlete who is dedicating himself to being the absolute best and wants to push the boundaries of what the human body could possibly take, I'm there for it. So anyway, the enhanced games, this guy who reintroduced the dire wolf, he's also one of the main guys on the board of the George Church, the enhanced games. He's awesome. I know a lot of people, though, a lot of like my friends, isn't that a Donald Trump Jr. thing? I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care if the enhanced games are being funded by Donald Trump Jr. I think that's a good idea. See, I'm not closed-minded. Everything isn't a bad idea. Some of them I go, yeah, that's pretty cool. I would absolutely attend the enhanced games. All right. What else do we have? Let's see here. Hey, folks, trivia tonight. Come one, come all, 4060 Beltline Road. We're going to be out there at the back 9, 7 o'clock. Come play trivia. We've got cash. We've got prizes. Cash. I don't think we got cash. I said cash. All right, so now I got to bring $1. Now I got to bring $1 so that I can give somebody $1 so that I didn't lie. What else do we have here? Oh, how about this? Sperm transplant. Huh? Let's hear it for science. So a dude has received the very first sperm transplant. This is a huge leap in the field of male infertility. This is the one they're working on. They're focusing on men. They're focusing on men being able to get hard-ons when they're 60 with their 25-year-old girlfriends. We're focused on that because we don't want the old guy to feel bad about not being able to pleasure his 25-year-old girlfriend or 25-year-old mistress. It's a pick'em. So we're working on that. We're working on getting him nice and hard. We're working on hair. We got to make sure that he's, not feeling insecure about a hairline, right? And now we're tackling the big male subject of male infertility. Now fuck the women. Yeah, she's broken. Whatever. She's one of them barren chicks. But you got to do something about my swimmers. How do I make my swimmer? Because I don't feel like a man now. It's so stupid. So, of course, we're working on that. And guess what? There's a dude out there who received the world's first sperm transplant. A man in his early 20s has received the world's first sperm-making stem cell transplant in a new procedure that could be groundbreaking for the infertility treatment. Until now, the procedure had only been tested in animals, but it was successful. It allowed male mice and monkeys to father offspring. So, first of all, I don't know how you find it. Look, that's weird, right? Like, how do you find infertile mice and monkeys? Do you make them infertile? That's mean. And then, you make them fertile again? Is that what happened? All right, whatever. So this dude in his early 20s who's getting himself one of these sperm stem cell things, it's the devil stuff. Remember, all stem cell shit? If you're Republican, you hate stem cell shit. So don't be hypocrites. There's a big fight about this a number of years ago, and you conservatives, you were all like, no. But guess what? Everyone said, shut the fuck up, and they just went ahead with it anyway. And now, in the years since, we have had amazing medical breakthroughs due to stem cell technology and stem cell research. But okay. The patient was diagnosed with azoospermia. That's a fun word. Azoospermia. A condition that causes no sperm to be present in his ejaculate and makes it impossible to naturally conceive a child. This happened. He had cancer as a kid. So look at this. Isn't this a great thing? Look at this. This story is now taking on some real optimism. So maybe you got a kid. Maybe you got a kid who had cancer as a child and received chemotherapy, and now all of his swimmers are dead. And the unfortunate thing is that kid can live, but he's not going to be able to have babies when he grows up. Well, here we have a situation. Let's hope it works. All right. The important medical breakthrough of solving male infertility. We're on it. Very important. We'll get back to cancer and all that stuff later. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that one either. Oh, yeah, let's see. It's now been almost an hour. I forgot to check on the Dow Jones to see where it closed today. Remember what I said, right? So it closed. Okay. Is this right? Is this the close? Okay. So not that bad. The Dow closed minus 320. All right. I said if it's 400 or less that, it was a bad day, but it's not another, the sky is falling. Now all eyes will be on tomorrow morning, how it opens. Is it going to open? Is it going to roar out of the gates like it did today where everybody was like, yay, and then it went down? I don't know. Profits won at 11 a.m. were completely lost by 12:30 today. That was a crazy day. All right, but that's minus 320. All right, minus 320. It's not bad. It was all over. It was up 150. It was down 800. It was all right. So it closes inside 400. Not good, but not bad. Not like, okay. We live to fight another day, as they say. I got to look at the Barbary lion now. Let's see what the Barbary lion looks like. Byron's a big fan of the Barbary lion. I'm unfamiliar. Where's the Barbary Coast? Is that Africa? Why did I put Barbary Coast? I want Barbary lion. Barbary lion. Here we go. All right. So I guess my question on this one to Byron, who wants us to bring back why do we need this guy back, Byron? He looks like a regular lion. Is he much bigger? What does he do that's cool? So obviously these aren't real Barbary lion. I don't know what I'm looking at. These are just pictures of lion. That fucker's cool. Look at him. He's like punk rock lion. He's like got spiky hair. I like that. All right. Now I need to learn about the Barbary lion. Here we go. The Barbary lion was a population of the lion subspecies Panthera leo. That's the modern lion, Leo. The old one, like the American lion, they're like Panthera atox or something. But the modern ones that we have now are Panthera leo. It was also called the North African lion, the Atlas lion, and the Egyptian lion. It lived in the mountains and deserts of the Maghreb of North Africa. When was it dead? When did it die? It doesn't say. I don't care that much. It looks too much like a regular lion, and I think we're good with lions. I think we have lions. We don't need to have a million different kinds of lions. Although if we are going to have it, I want the American lion. Very good. We're out of show, guys. That's it. I'm sorry, an hour and a half. We've got a lot of stuff to do today. That's it. I'm out of show. I got nothing else for you. I wish I did. Hey, here's a reminder. You can tip the show. You can support this kind of talk radio. We do it every day, Monday through Friday, round about noon, possibly sometimes later, like today. Today we started at 2. A little weird. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. It's the other thing that I want to do. I want to see like different times, different people, maybe sometimes new people. That's not working. Nothing's working. But join us tonight for trivia at the back 9. 4060 Beltline Road. Starts at 7 o'clock. We're going to play trivia. We got stuff to give away. I got great categories for you today. Oh, my God. We're going to have fun. All right, guys, that's it. We got to go. I love you. We'll see you tomorrow, okay? Back with more talk radio, the way talk radio for normal Americans. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's also going to be a later show because I've got a lunch thing tomorrow. Well, it's 10:30, but they're calling it lunch. So tomorrow's probably going to be a 2 o'clock start as well. So we'll see you then. All right. Love you all. Bye. Have a great week. Have a great week. The fuck is wrong? Have a great week. Have a good night. Maybe I'll see you tonight. Maybe not. Who knows?